I'm live. Okay, there we go. I had trouble going live for a minute. I might have been live for 5 seconds, it says. But anyway, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm starting something called Stories with Greg Reese. And today it's going to be a short story. I'm going to speak about Butte, Montana. I wanted to have a lot of visuals with this. So I was just going to do a video where I was talking and then I would upload it where I could put and show you the map. But I said, let me do a live story, and if it's interesting to people, maybe I'll do the same thing and show the map. Now I don't have all of the facts, but as far as where I ended up going when I tell you this story, but I do have the Kmart that my car stopped in. So let's begin the story right here. First of all, Butte, Montana. It was I was traveling out Interstate 90, I believe. Let's see here. Oh, whatever it is, looks like it was Interstate. I think it was Interstate 90, possibly. Whatever it was, I was going straight across the expressway. Let's see, to here, and I came off of Interstate 90, which also turns into 15. Looks like I just noticed that off of Interstate 90. I knew something was wrong with the car. I was driving a 95, I want to say 95 Saturn, and this story took place back in 2002, possibly 2003. So I had a 1995 Saturn, so it had some mileage on it. I think it had about 85,000 miles on it, but I had a warranty. It was a used car. I was driving it to um, Washington State, Seattle, Tacoma, somewhere in that area, somewhere between those two. And I was going through all of this. It was no cell phone coverage, Route 90, Interstate 90, heading towards the next city. And I was going to stop a few times, but I was like, something's wrong with the car. It doesn't feel right. Let me keep going until I get someplace. Because if I would have stopped any other place, it would have been crazy. I would have been one of those guys you've seen on the side of the street hitchhiking or something like that. Let me find my live video here. There we go. And basically, I pulled off onto, it looks like it was called Harrison Avenue, and I drove down to Kmart. And I went to Kmart, and I was thinking in my mind, do I need to stop the car? Should I keep driving? Should I leave it on? Because occasionally, as I was driving across the nation, I used to drive across the nation a lot, not with this particular car, but with another car. I would sleep, drive, sleep, get gas, drive. And, of course, I'd turn off the car for gas, but I would leave the car on frequently because I sleep in the car and then wake up, rest stop, and drive, especially in the colder months. I didn't want to stop the car. So anyway, I stopped at Kmart. As soon as I turned off the car, I just wanted to test it because I was going to go in Kmart. I've been driving for a while. Like I said, that stretch of road, I'm sure they've built some cities there now, but it's a stretch of road from, let's see if I can kind of get the stretch of road somewhere, Route 90, let's see, Harrison Avenue. It's just all of this mountainous road, canyons, scones, looks like it. All of this road, no city, Homestake Pass, High View. I guess this is Montana, High View. Just all of this here was nothing. Homestake I-90 eastbound rest area. That was a rest area, but nothing, no cell phone coverage, no anything. And again, traveled all the way up to here. Whiskey's Gulch, I see. So traveled all of these roads, stopped at Kmart, turned the car back on, and it was over. The car had stopped. I couldn't start it back up. And I was like, man, I knew something was wrong, but I was afraid. I didn't know what to do. It was getting dark. And let's see, I think it was summer. If I'm not mistaken, it was summer. So it didn't get dark until 8 or 9, but it was getting dark. So I was at Kroger, not sure what to do. Didn't want to call anybody just yet. I think I had $180 on me and maybe some on a card or whatever. And I just sat there for a minute. And what happened was there was a couple watching me. and I guess they had left Kmart. I have no idea. And it was a small town. It wasn't very, very small. Let's see what Butte, Montana size is. Let's see. Butte, Montana population, and this was nearly 20 years ago, so it was probably smaller. Butte, Montana population. And I forgot this couple's name. But once I tell you this story, let's see, 33,000 in Butte, Montana. And let's see if I can find a little bit more information 20 years ago. Anyway, so let's go on. It was this couple, they were watching me, an elderly couple, and I didn't know they were watching me, of course. And I just sat there in the car, kept sitting. Maybe it was neighborhood watch. I have no idea. But I'm joking there. But, you know, I was sitting and finally they drove up to me and they said, "We've been watching you." And that first thing I did, I don't want to be racial and scared and all this, but I was just thinking like, wow, I'm in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They're watching me. I'm sitting here, Kmart, can't start my car, and it's like, so and so, they's like, "We want to help you." And I told them the story, but it was an elderly couple, so I wasn't afraid. But it was, they wanted to help me. And I said, "I need help," because I had in the first place, I didn't know where I was going to go to get service. I knew I could probably fix it for $180. Finally, I think it was a starter or what's the other? I think it was a starter, not a starter, but well, you know what it was. It's either a starter or whatever it was. It cost about $200 to get it all together. So anyway, they said, "We want to help you." They called a tow truck and they took me home with them. And I'm serious. In my mind and my thought process, I was like, well, this may be my last night, but they were so nice. It was like last night living, but they were so nice. I was just like, I got to have faith. And I had faith in people, but just being in a strange place, a strange land, came out of nowhere. It was like, wow, it's hard to know what's going to happen. But, I went with my gut feeling. They let me in their house. They cooked me dinner, fruit, and I went to sleep in this bed. I've never slept in a bed like this until probably after this, when I started traveling and being able to afford bigger hotels. And the bed was so soft, pillows plush. It was just crazy, and I went to sleep and I woke up and I saw the sun rising over the mountains. That's another thing. Butte, Montana has mountains I guess, on the east side. And as I woke up and looked out their window, the sun was rising over the mountains. I pinched myself like, oh man, I'm still alive. And it was the most beautiful thing, and that's like, it just restored my faith in people, and nothing scary, nothing that I thought what it was. When I got up, they said my car is fixed. They cooked me breakfast and, and you probably don't have to, I probably don't have to tell you this, but it was an elderly Caucasian couple, and I am an African American male, just in case you didn't know. And it was just so exciting that happened. And I forgot their name. I used to keep a piece of paper because I wanted to write them. I told them thank you there, of course. The car was fixed. The guy drove the car over, or they drove me to the place, one or the other. Car fixed. They paid for it. They said I didn't owe them anything. They were just happy they could help me, and I felt so great. Not only did it save me a lot of money, I don't even think I had AAA then, but it saved me a lot of money, a lot of time and effort. I was scared for a second, but I just said, "Hey, I got to go with it." And I felt great. And when I woke up to that sunrise, it was just the most beautiful thing. And again, I don't know if they're even living because that was 2002, 2003. And I know they were an elderly couple. They could be still living. I mean, so I don't know exactly where they were, but it was just a beautiful story. And I don't even know if I would even recognize the house if I saw it again. But I'm sure there's a house that's on the back of a mountainside or one side of the mountainside. And that's the house I was in. So anyway, it was crazy. That's my Butte, Montana story. Nothing too terribly exciting, but it was fun. And of course, that story lasted about 24 to maybe 30, 40, 50 hours, because again, from 8 o'clock, and I guess the rest well, maybe not that long. maybe 24 hours. I know I was on the road the next day, so maybe not that long. But I know the drive up, it was a crazy drive. So anyway, okay, guys, that's my story, and I'm going to tell a story every week. I have thousands and thousands of stories, and you never know which one you might like. So keep watching Greg Reese telling you stories. I'm gonna try to tell them on Sundays. They're gonna be interesting stories. Some stories are gonna be much shorter, and I'll talk to you. It's Greg Reese, guys, from VIP. I'm live, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace, Greg Reese.